I usually don't get mad at like the Grammys, but when I did not see you all on the Grammys, I wanted to fucking throw something across the wall. I was very upset about it. I could not believe it. It was, to me, that is one of the greatest snubs in the history of that organization.
You know, it's a very confusing world, that world. Number one, it was made by, you know, who knows, an all-boys club. I don't know. You know, it's an organization that has really nothing to do with me. And in order to sort of judge it a little bit, we have to understand how it was made, why it was made, what reasons it was made. But we all know. I mean, they're getting reprimanded all the time for their choices and what's going on. And
been a hard year for the Grammys.
It really has. And, you know, it will all change, you know, but I'm over worrying about that. Club wasn't made for me. I'm not part of that club. You know what I mean? I mean, I have a Grammy. I have many second places, and I have the thing, you know, I drink bourbon out of it.
Okay. I got to see this.
Oh, I got you come to my house. We'll drink some bourbon out of it for sure. I'll make sure next time we're together, it's there. I'm not upset with them. They got their own worlds to worry about. I got my own worries. My world doesn't rely on the Grammys saying that I'm it. They're the ones losing the money. You know, I'm about as grandiose as it comes. I'll never understand. There's nobody more pop than Slipknot. I mean, we're more pop than Katy Perry. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Well,
think about our fans.
Yeah.
And then think about her fans. Her fans are coming and going.
Yeah.
Okay, my fans aren't going anywhere. We just did something recently where 4 generations came. I know it seems weird, but that family got busy. Okay, but we got 4 generations at a signing recently.
That's awesome.
And they made that known. They're like, see this little baby, is this little baby, is this little baby, and me. So I don't have any time for the cool kid clubs. I used to worry about that. It's their loss. They don't want to make their money off of showing my face on national TV, and they want to show other people. That's cool. You know, I'd rather have our money and our percentages and our love and our spirit go to the places where it's downloaded and digested correctly. I didn't get here from any of that, from radio, from MTV, from the Grammys, from any awards. Now, I don't hate on them. Okay, but I gave up them understanding what pop is. It's generally funny to me how it's all money. We know this, but if we want to talk art, I mean, anybody you had this year is not more arty than my band. And we've been doing it well longer, and we'll be here after those people that you're adorning. But I know it's to keep your doors open. I know it's to pay your bills. I know it's to keep your integrity. But it's a new world order, right? And Slipknot's at the top of it. So
absolutely.
Maybe we don't let you in.
So I took it that way. Your fans, they're fiercely loyal, and the creation of your whiskey, number 9, to me, it told the story of you all because you chose to work with an Iowa distillery in Cedar Ridge, and you could have worked with anybody. You could have worked with Jack Daniels. You could have worked with Jim Beam. Name any company, and you would have the fierce loyalty of your fans to sell out. But you chose to work with an Iowa distillery. That's part of your story. You guys are so genuinely Iowan.
Well, it is part of our story. I will never be able to change the fact that I was born and raised in Des Moines, Iowa. I still currently reside there, although I'm going to be moving soon. A little done with the weather, but I'm still going to have a house here. Just going to kind of do what older people do, get a nice place where it's warm and come back here when it's nice because I love the 4 seasons. But if you really want to break it down to an essence of why I'm here, it's only people like this that will keep a mentality to make such a great product. Mm-hmm. Number one, before there was one meeting, before there was anything, there was, let me see the product of what they do. Let me try this product. Okay. I like this product. This is something I would put in my own life, whether I was involved or not. So number one, the art was represented. But number two, I know I can speak with all of them. You know, this is Iowa work ethic. This is Iowa morals. I understand them, they understand me. We're in different worlds. They're in the whiskey business, I'm in the rock and roll business. But when it comes to being born and raised in Iowa and understanding our goals and our dreams, you have to stay the course. And in my life, most people that are serious in Iowa stay the course.
Yeah.
It's not here now, thank you, goodbye. It's I have kids, they're gonna have kids, and let's do something. My dream is to have great grandkids, going, who was grandpa? Who was that guy? He did what? And it's like they're getting money and they're like, why do I have a new car? That's when it's going to get fun for me, because that's when the art gets smeared and they're like, you're a Rockefeller or something, and you're like, you never even saw those people, but you hear about them,
Yeah.
And I I love where I'm from. I would never change it. My parents were born here. I love Iowa. Just driving up today, just looking at the way the earth looks with the overcast weather. It's part of my life. And, it's home. I get to drive down the street and be here and just have a real meeting that isn't grandiose, that's, no one's kissing my ass. We're all on the same page, and just a bunch of lovely people that I believe work as hard as me, and that's a lot. That's hard to say, and I think they would say that. They'd be like, we work with Clown because he works as hard as us, and we here in Iowa believe that. We have a different work ethic, and we have a different moral, and recently I had so many people. People ask me, I'll be on an airplane and meet someone. They'll be like, where are you from? Des Moines, Iowa. They'll be like, the nicest people I ever met were in Iowa. This has happened to me like 4 times in the last 2 months, randomly. And, you get thinking about it and you're like, you know what? We are a bunch of damn nice people.
That's true.
So anyway, would I get on a plane and work with someone? Yeah, I'd be on a plane today in California working with some, place, and I can work, but this is real. This is my backyard. I've been eating sweet corn. I go to a recording studio here in Fort Dodge. He keeps 8 rolls of sweet corn, and in between recording, we walk right in, we peel it right there, and we eat it, and we throw it on the ground. So when I was educated, and I thought, wow, Iowa really gives a lot of corn to the world for cattle feed. I'm like, we're giving it back on this. And, I also am very interested as well in having the role of helping people understand responsibility behind this. So I get 2 things. I get a temperature, I get a recipe, I get time, pressure, product, but I also get a responsibility to speak to humans like I do anyway, about being responsible and enjoying and, these things. So that could only work here. Those morals, those aspects, my state, our world.
And I'll tell you, your reserve made my top 25 last year.
Thank you.
And, that wasn't because, of the story or anything like that. It's because the whiskey's actually really, really good.
You
really good.
See, here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. You said the word actually,
Yeah.
This is what we're working on. Because when you say actually, it makes me think that you might have thought there was a moment that it wouldn't be good because of the name and the story.
Oh, and that's actually not why.
Okay, why? Why?
So I have historically rated Cedar Ridge's stuff pretty low.
Okay.
Because they have an 80 proof.
Mm-hmm.
They have an 80 proof product. And what I have come to learn is that they were watering down their whiskey too much. When I came up here and I tasted straight out of the barrel, I told Murphy and those guys, I said, what are you doing? You need to be bottling this stuff at cask strength. And then 99 proof is your reserve. And so that it's like you get the essence of the climate here. You get the nuance of the corn. And there's a lot of sweetness and nutmeg in that reserve, and it's really because as someone who rates whiskeys for a living, there are not a lot of really good American whiskeys that are not coming out of Indiana, Tennessee, or Kentucky. And Cedar Ridge has, I feel like your whiskey has put Cedar Ridge on the map for the connoisseurs because of that going up. You're basically going up in 19 proof points, and you're allowing their whiskey to be shown in a way that it had not been previously been put into the market. So that is where the actually comes from.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with the band.
That's good. I mean, again, when we were here and we were getting on it, I mean, they were just excellent at providing many scenarios. And, you know, I was given many different proofs, many different things, many thoughts, but, you know, we all have the eye on the same thing. So I don't want to say we got lucky because we really thought about it. In the end, these guys they're masters of this art, and it's relevant, and it's so good, and it's monstrous, you know, and it's even better that, you know, two great things can be together because it doesn't really happen a lot. You know,
right.
As we see a lot of hype, but I don't, you know, it's a hard scenario to go across because I don't do anything unless it's real. I would have never done a whiskey. I met other people, and some of who I met, you know, they were just. It was
marketing.
It was flashy. It was, the product is horrible. I mean, I even told one guy, I'd never drink this in a million years. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't care. You should taste it. I'm not going to taste it. I don't like the name. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the flavor that you're telling me. No. And no to working with you because I don't like the product, you know, and there was a lot of that. Yes, we could have worked with anyone. That doesn't mean anything, though, to me, because we're only going to do what Slipknot does, and that's be the best. And that's only because I want the culture to have the best. I don't want them to deal with gimmick and garbage, you know. If you're going to drink quality. If you're going to listen to music, listen to, you know, you see what I'm saying. I would have never done business just to have, I guess, money. You know what I'm saying? This is art to me. This is serious art and serious. Which one you got?
This is the reserve. I think
this one's my reserve.
I mean, you just get in there and it's got like right off the bat, it's caramel. You know, it's so
amazing. I've been practicing lately too. I'm really trying to perfect my palate because I have a lot of dreams to tell these guys. Most of them are going to be, that's the dumbest thing ever, but at least I came up with it. And then some things I might actually hit on something. You know.
Would you like me to show you my process?
Yes, please.
So this is like this would basically be the equivalent of me like writing a song. This is my talent.
Yes, please.
This is all I got.
I love it. No, I love it.
So the first thing I do is like an American whiskey. Every style of whiskey has its own. It has its own rules and regulations. Like Scotch, they can add coloring, but American whiskey, most of them cannot add coloring. In this particular category, it is a blend of straights, is what it's technically under, because it's a blend of bourbon and rye.
Yep.
They cannot because they're calling it a blend of straights. So there's no coloring added to it. So that color that you have there is basically all from the barrel. So every single day that whiskey is in the wood, it's interacting, going in and out. And so you can really kind of assess the quality of it in the barrel by its color. And the darker it is, usually the longer it's been in the barrel, or the higher the proof. And you can see this one's just a touch darker.
Of course.
And that's got a little bit more age on it than the number 9, the reserve does. So after that, you want to nose it. And when you nose it, you swirl it around a little bit. You do want to look at the legs. Now, this is not anything you can really assess something by, but it kind of gives the distiller's trademark.
Okay.
Like if you swirl yours around, I bet you'll find that the legs are very similar to that right there, kind of like long and.
I don't know if I'm getting any legs.
Web-like. Yeah, you are. Look at that.
Oh,
see that?
Okay, I gotcha. Yep.
They're kind of like fine, and then they're like webs.
Yeah.
So Cedar Ridge has a little bit of a profile, It's almost like a web coming down.
I like that.
And
So everybody's got their own little profile.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And it's basic chemistry.
I like that.
But it depends on like the glass. If it's a dirty glass, it all goes to shit.
I see, yeah.
So from there, you push that aroma up a little bit, and then you smell. And when you smell, you want to smell with your mouth open, so you get your nose in there. And
Yeah, I always do that.
And you smell with your mouth open.
This stuff is so strong but good, and it's hard, in my opinion, to make the strong and the taste
Does it hit your nose really hard?
hard.
Okay, so try this. Try coming from two directions.
Much better.
By coming from two directions like that, you
Right.
obviously have a sensitive nose, and that will help you of like, breaking down that alcohol a
Definitely.
little bit.
No, that I've never done that actually. I've always got in there. That really actually helps me a lot more. I'm still learning, I'm still getting not the tricks, but I'm kind of a snob to know it. And I'm trying to learn as much as I can, but I do it as I go. I don't just go online and try to be a snob. I try to get with you or get with them or get with anybody that can teach me something or throw something in the air that I can learn. And that's when I start applying like my madness, just something that
You're
threw
an
in the air.
experiential learner.
Yes, yeah. A method actor.
Yeah, okay. So after the smell, so we picked up like the aromas. Like,
Yep.
so one of the first things I do is I kind of like make sure there's like no bad stuff, because when as a taster you do have to go through the gambit. Sometimes you have to listen. Sometimes you have to taste really bad stuff and rate it. And sometimes I've smelled things like sweaty gym socks.
Really?
Moldy basements, burning plastic. Some of that stuff.
Wow.
So right here, I don't get none of that. What I get here, I got fresh cornbread coming out of the oven. A little bit of melted butter over that top. Caramel. And kind of like a toasted rye bread, like coming out of the toaster. And then when you put it on your palate, you don't want to shoot it back. You just want to kind of put a little bit. And every glass is different with how it will hit your palate. This glass comes in and it comes in straight and then kind of it goes out like that.
Yep.
So it'll be able to cover your entire tongue. And so like that, for how it feels on your tongue would be like the mouth feel.
Okay.
Some of them will feel like butter and kind of like drip down. Some of them will like sting a little bit, but kind of go away like a pepper would. So that'd be like spicy. So that's the first thing I do is I detect of how it feels on the mouth, and then I kind of analyze the flavors. You'll feel the sweeter ones on the tip of your tongue, the savories like the cornbread's in the middle, and then the spices like the peppers and the cinnamons toward the back. You want to move it around. This is an all-encompassing mouthfeel for me. It's got a lot of spice toward the back, kind of a malty caramel like right there at the tip. But I love the way this feels on my palate. I've loved this whiskey from day one, from when I gave it an 89 in Forbes. I loved it even more when I tasted it blind, did not know what it was in my annual American Whiskey of the Year.
God, it's good.
And,
Get yours now.
it's quite yummy. Well, thank you.
I really like caramel.
Yeah?
Caramel's my thing. Has been since I was a little kid. I buy caramel, foo caramel things that are toast, whatever. I'll just eat it out of the can.
Oh, I love
or the jar. It's one of the things I'm really excited about. Once we have a plan for the business, once we excel in some of our plans and what we're doing, I can't wait to sit down and see if I could invent a recipe with Cedar Ridge, and literally that's my next thing, is to like try and hold the stuff and watch it turn into something that turns into something, and then taste it. That's the next step for me. And to try, I want to take all the expertise and everything, but I want to go for a once in a lifetime thing. Like, who knew he could make a barrel? You know what I mean? So, but with the family, try and create something aggressive and different that's never been done, but maybe a little bit more on the caramel side.
Well, the best way to get to that is just age.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you can definitely tell that these barrels are on the right track.
Well, and I will tell you this too. Maybe this is. I'm not going to get into it, but we're all interested. We're all interested in having some reserves that are many years. We've just started our family together.
I mean, this is the first year.
That's right.
And they told me
I start going crazy. I start, but you know what? It's good for me to be brought in and reeled down because I just listen and, but yeah, it's the first year and, we've all been, it'd be nice. I'm in this for the long haul. So, 10 years from now, I want to be able to go, I want you to be sitting right here and go, we talked about this 10 years ago and today is the day, and let you crack it and try a 10-year number 9, so that's all stuff for the future and to think
I like talking about the future. Sure in the heck beat talking about coronavirus.
We could talk all day on that, but I say let's not give anybody the ability to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, cheers to that, my friend.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast, and I'm looking forward to tasting some barrel samples with you. So good. If you haven't yet, I mean, if you don't have Slipknot downloaded in your however you stream your music, then something's wrong with you and you need to do it right now.
I mean, it's only been 20 years, so I mean, it's not like we're trying to sell a new album or anything. I mean, we've been around for a minute, so.
And the one thing you brought up in the interview that I was wanting to circle back to, but we kept going and going, and I couldn't stop you, and we wanted to get to the whiskey. I wanted to know what the meaning of the first album cover is, but we've ran out of time. Maybe next time.
I'll give you a quick thing.
Okay.
We're here, and we're not going anywhere.
I love it. And this is Clown. He is my kind. Cheers.